In this video, I'm going to give you an introduction into the Model View ViewModel architecture with SwiftUI. I'm going to explain the basic concepts, and then we're going to refactor this view together into a view model so you can get some practical experience with it. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Now, if you want to follow along with me, I do have this starter project available to download. There's a link in the description. And this is a fully built screen with a network call and all that stuff. So there's a lot of other stuff going on in this project. I'll save talking about that till the end after I review Model View ViewModel. That way, if you're just here for the MVVM, you can leave after that. But if you want to walk through the project, stick around till the end. Okay, so the super high level, basic introduction to MVVM is the purpose of this is to separate your business logic from your view and your model. So let's take a look at our appetizer list view here. By the way, in case you're visual like me, here's what the screen actually looks like. But now back to the code. So you can see here we have our array of appetizers that is populating the table view. We have our isLoading variable. We have our alert item. The big no-no, we're doing a network call on our view. Again, a rule of thumb in this MVVM architecture is that your view should be stupid. What I mean by that is that your view should just show what it's told. It shouldn't have to figure out what to show. Your view should be like, hey, tell me what to show and I'll show it. And it's up to your view model to do all the business logic and tell your view what to show. And real quick, our model in this particular instance is this appetizer, right? So if you click on appetizer, jump to definition, you can see this is our object, right? And if I pull up the screenshot, you can see it has the image, the name, the price, all that stuff. So here's the model for our appetizer. Our view in this case would be the appetizer list view up here, right? This is the view that shows this list of appetizers. And then our view model is what we're going to refactor to together right now. Okay, first things first, where do we create this view model file? Now, project organization is highly subjective. I like to have my view, if you see here, my appetizer list view right here, I like to have the view model and the view right next to each other in the same folder because you often use them side by side. So I don't want all my view models in a separate area of my project. I like my view and my view model to be right next to each other in the same folder. Again, that is subjective. So we're going to do a new group on this views folder, call it appetizer list view. And then I'm going to take my appetizer list view, move it into that folder, and then on the folder, do a command N for a new file, new Swift file, hit next. And we're going to call this appetizer list view model, right? It's the view model for our appetizer list view. Hit create. And there you go. Now we have our appetizer list view and our view model in this folder, appetizer list view. Okay, cool. So now we want to create our class that is our view model. And the reason the view model is a class and not a struct is because we need to maintain state, right? The stuff going on in the view model needs to persist. So let's make this a final class. By the way, the final keyword just means you can't subclass it. It's just a small optimization. So we'll do appetizer list view model. And that is an observable object. Basically what this means is this object is able to be observed. You'll see that when we actually connect our view in our view model. But what we want to do here is in our appetizer list view, let's start yanking out, this business logic. Let's actually start from the bottom because it'll be cleaner that way. So this whole get appetizers function, again, network calls should not be on your view in SwiftUI. So we want to definitely command X to cut that, get that out of our view, make that nice and neat. Go back to our appetizer list view and we'll paste that function there. Now you see we get a bunch of errors, right? We don't have isLoading, we don't have appetizers, we don't have our alert item. So the next step, let's bring that over. Back to our appetizer list. And basically all these variables here, we want to cut and then paste. And by the way, I am going to explain how all of this connects together, but I'm waiting till I get everything over here before I explain. So now on our view model, right, we don't have state. That is a SwiftUI thing. That is how you maintain state in SwiftUI. Well, we are now on our class that is a view model. So now we want to change @state private to published, right? So we'll copy, paste. I know there's a better way to do that, but let's get rid of private var for all these and private var, right? So you should just read @published var. Now let me talk about this published keyword. So because we're on an observable object, essentially what this means is anytime one of these published variables changes, for example, this appetizers array, the way this network call works, get appetizers, we make the network call, we get our appetizers back. In the success case, we set appetizers we basically, the appetizers we get back from that recall, we make it equal to this. So what publish does, it monitors this appetizer variable, and anytime it changes, it says, hey, I've changed, do with that what you will. And what we're going to do on our view is listen for these changes. And when these changes get made, SwiftUI will update its UI. Again, I'll walk through that at the end, but let's finish getting set up here. So the same thing occurs, when isLoading changes, that is going to broadcast its change. When alert item changes, that is going to broadcast its change. So now we need to set up our view to listen to this view model, because our view model setup is done essentially, right? We have our get appetizers function, and then we have our properties that are publishing their changes. So into our appetizer list view here, now we need to connect our view to our view model. And here's how we do that, right? So on our appetizer list view, we do @state object, private var, and then we'll say view model. So we're creating a property called view model, and that is going to equal a appetizer list view model, and we initialize a new one. So now that we have our view model object, which again is this appetizer list view model, now we need to access all the appropriate properties here. So you can see we're getting an error that says cannot find alert item in scope. So this alert item, we can just put a view model in front of it, right? Because now it's view model.alert item, because our view model has a property called alert item. And you can see Xcode is now kind of waking up to all the other errors, right? We're going to have to add view model in front of appetizers, view model in front of our function get appetizers, view model in front of isLoading, right? So what I'm going to do, just copy the view model here and then do paste dot, and then paste it in front of get appetizers, and then paste it in front of isLoading. So again, you're just accessing these properties that we move to the view model, via the view model. So now, like I said, our appetizer list view, which is just the view, is pretty dumb, right? And that's what we want. Again, it doesn't figure out what it needs to show. It just says, hey, tell me what to show and I'll show it. And then again, the view model here, right, is doing all the work. It is going to get the appetizers. It is keeping track of the array of appetizers in that list. It's keeping track of the isLoading, right? Do I show the loading screen? Do I not show the loading screen? Consider the view model like the brain of the view, right? The view, just tell me what to do. So that is the basic breakdown of MVVM, Model View ViewModel, and how you can refactor out into a view model. And again, the main rule of thumb is make your view as dumb as possible. It really shouldn't be figuring out all that much for itself. And now, as you can see what that does for the readability of our code, everything in this appetizer list view is just view code and how the look of the view is constructed. So you're kind of separating the concerns here, right? Okay, if you're just focused on UI, you want to fix something or build something, this is pretty much UI only stuff. And then now if you're worried about fixing a bug in the business logic or adding more logic, now you go to the appetizer list view model, which is kind of like the brains of the operation, and that's where you do all the logic stuff. Hopefully that made sense. Now I am going to walk through real quick the rest of the project because I'm sure those of you that downloaded it, you're poking around, you might have some questions. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of each file, but if you have any questions about the MVVM stuff, leave a comment. Happy to jump in there and help out. Before we move on to the walkthrough portion, I got to thank today's sponsor, and that is Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to help you get a website up and running very quickly. And I always say iOS developers should have a portfolio to show off their work. Or maybe you're building an app and you want to have a website for that app. Yes, we're developers. We could build it ourselves, but that's a lot of time and effort. And I always argue, there's an opportunity cost to your time. You could be building more apps or making your product better, or you could spend a lot of your time like monkeying around with the website, trying to get it to work on all screen sizes, right? Like if it's me, I'd rather spend my time on my app. So let Squarespace handle all that work for you. Like I said, they handle all the different screen sizes, all the different browser compatibility. They do all the SEO, the analytics for you. It's just a great way to take the website aspect of things completely off your plate. So when you're ready to start building that website, go to squarespace.com. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/SeanAllen to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And now for a quick walkthrough of the rest of the project. And real quick, this is one of the projects we build in my course, SwiftUI Fundamentals, that help you get started with SwiftUI. We go a lot deeper into MVVM. We build multiple apps. It's a great way to get started. So if you're interested in that, SeanAllen.teachable.com. All right, that's enough promotion. Back to the walkthrough. I'm just going to go file by file. We've talked about our appetizer list view, which shows this list of appetizers that you see here. We did the view model. The cell here, I'll start pulling up the previews here so you can see some of this. You can see that's just our sample UI cell for the appetizer list view that you saw. And here's the code for that. Basically just some basic UI code. Loading view. As you can see, this is just a loading spinner. we just slap this view on top of our list when we're loading and the spinner spins. Okay, let's move the views here. Utilities, appetizer, remote image. If you want to copy this code, you can kind of copy and paste this from project to project. You might want to change out your placeholder image though. But this is a way to have your images be able to download. Like oftentimes, from an API, you'll just get like a URL to download the image from. Well, this creates basically an image that you can download from. So if you want to look at that. Alert item, this is a custom way that I do alerts. If I go back to my appetizer list view, like you may be used to seeing, if you're not familiar with this method, this kind of alert code, like all throughout, a screen that is trying to handle the alerts. Well, the way I do it is I abstract it away and put it into this alert context and alert item so you can see how I use it now. It's reusable. I just have this dot alert down here and I just pass in the alert item, right? So I don't have all that alert code littered all throughout my view, just how I handle it. And like I kind of mentioned, like we do go deeper into this in the course, and all of these files like could be their own tutorial, but I'm just keeping it at a high level for those that are curious. And then AP error is just a custom error type for our network manager. This is what we return right here in our result, right? We either return an array of appetizers from a network call or an AP error, and we handle the error here accordingly, right? There's the unable to complete, invalid response, invalid data, and this helps us show the right alert with that alert item. So this is just typical network call stuff, nothing too crazy here. And then the model, like I showed before, this is the appetizer model. So again, for those that were curious, just a quick run through. And if you're super duper curious, you want to build this whole app, like I said, SeanAllen.teachable.com. Check it out. We build this app plus a couple others. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.